Welcome to Goat Island. I'm your host, the Big Kahuzzi, back with another entertainment and historical episode. Over the next 2 weeks, the three big streaming platforms will have multiple series, either new seasons or episodes releasing, as well as new movie releases across these platforms and on the big screen. Lastly, we have another localized legend this week, and we'll decide whether it would make for great entertainment or not. Starting off with Netflix, I was going through my research and saw no new slated shows, seasons, or episodes releasing in the next 2 weeks, but then it hit me. It's WrestleMania season, baby. And even though the deal between WWE and Netflix hasn't reached all global territories yet, there's no way we can't count this one. The first ever WrestleMania live on a digital streaming platform. The impact is just now dawning on me. This is massive. Moving on to Prime Video. Unfortunately, series are cyclic in nature, and whilst there's nothing on the near horizon that will rival Reacher or Invincible, there is a series that has come out today that I've yet to really get into, but given the success and acclaim of Netflix's Adolescence, might be worthwhile watching, as it takes a different approach to digital privacy. The show is called Spy High, and is a docu-series about a teenager who sued his prestigious high school, claiming that they spied on him after being accused of drug dealing. Whilst it doesn't seem like a massive release, unlike Netflix, which due to their head start in the streaming race has been binged back to front, Prime's library has been largely unbinged. But I can tell you that the quality of the bingeable content is set much higher. Finally, we have Disney Plus, and in a few hours, another episode of the incredible Daredevil Born Again series will be released, which means for the next 24 hours, I'll be saying, Vanessa, every time I go past the mirror. The season finale will go up next week. It seems as though Disney is kicking into another gear, with the Marvel deal being the Mr. Steal Your Girl to Netflix, as all of the Marvel series that debuted on Netflix are not only available on Disney Plus, but are going steady with the platform exclusively. Shifting over to movies, the Minecraft movie just came out, and I haven't watched it, nor do I intend to, as I'm a grown man, and I fail to see how a game about blocks with a now out-of-shape Jason will be entertaining, although there is Jack Black, so we'll circle back to that in a week or two. We also have an action movie coming to Prime called G20, in which one of the GOAT actresses, Viola Davis, portrays the US president who must protect her family and world leaders when attacked by terrorists at the G20 summit in the GOAT city, Cape Town. Also, Homelander is in this, and we love that. G20 will be out before the weekend. Sinners, the supernatural thriller featuring Michael B. Jordan, also releases next week, but on the big screen. And guys, come on. The main actor is named after the GOAT. How could we not mention this? Also, the trailer looks pretty good. Please, just remember, Disney is not done yet, and this year you might as well call me Hannah because I'm getting the best of both worlds with Fantastic Four coming out at the end of July and Avatar Fire and Ash hitting theaters before Christmas. Disney is that guy. Disney is him. And I'm not even sorry, but you want to stay in, then I'm going to put on Prime every time. And once a week for an hour, I'll switch to Disney Plus. But you talk about cinema? And we're going with our old boy Walter every single time. Now, once again, It's the time in the show where we mix history and entertainment by bringing you localized legends and deciding whether the tales would be entertaining if told in the form of a movie or series. And just to be clear, last week, when we brought you the story of JVH and the Devil, we didn't specify that the localized legends had to be localized to one geographical location. So this week's legend is the New Zealand localized myth of Maui's fishing trip. Now, this isn't the rock fishing on a lake, but across Polynesian culture, there is a general idea that is shared throughout the nations about the mischievous demigod. The story goes that Maui was listening in on his four brothers plan a fishing trip without him. Not even just without him. They didn't even want him to know about it. I guess they just weren't tight like that anymore. Anyway, Maui didn't want to come down with a case of FOMO, so instead he hid beneath the deck of his brother's boat. Must be nice having a boat, yo. He waited there until he knew they were a long way from shore, before then giving them a skrik and popping up. His brothers were pissed, but to calm them down, he showed them he'd be more than useful on their fishing trip. He had made a magical fishhook out of an ancient jawbone and told his broskies that their catch would be even better if they used this fishhook. Maui then began chanting some powerful words, what is known as karakia, as he cast the magical fishhook. Very quickly, he felt a strong pull on the hook, and he knew he'd found a catch, and not just any catch, but something massive. Huge. The bra couldn't even pull it out by himself. So his brothers drew closer and all helped drag the fish to the surface. Only it wasn't a fish at all. What was it? It was actually a massive, a huge piece of land. They were hyped about finding Te Ika Maui, or Maui's fish, which is in fact known today as the North Island itself, home to the cities of Auckland, Wellington, and Whangarei. Guess it was a good fishing trip, eh?
Doesn't New Zealand have 2 islands? What about the South Island?
Well, that's actually right. New Zealand does have 2 islands, and the South Island, or as it used to be known, Te Waka Maui, meaning Maui's canoe, is claimed to have been the very boat that Maui and his brothers would fish from, the very same boat on which Maui caught Te Ika Maui, the North Island. And that is the legend of Maui's fishing trip and how New Zealand came to be. Now, would it make a great series? Maybe a great episode, I could see. But with so many legends tied to his name, this single story would be far too short for an entire series. On the other hand, a movie clearly would be successful, as in the last Moana movie, they even have the final boss as the voice of the demigod raising an island with the same fishhook. So technically, although the Moana movies aren't just about one specific Maui legend, they do kind of answer the question whether it would make a good movie, because the resolve of the second Moana movie is basically the second half of this story. Entertainment and history will return to Goat Island same time next week. If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe for more, and if you didn't, then drop a comment. We won't be moved by it, but it might be good for you to get some of that negativity out of your system. To be clear though, Goat Island is up and running and there's no way of stopping it. This is the Big Kahuzzi, and from Goat Island, we'll check you again.